Welcome back to another episode of the JB podcast. What if I told you that on the morning of September 11th, just as the Twin Towers were being attacked, 5 men were seen celebrating from a rooftop in New Jersey, taking pictures of the destruction? Who were these men and why were they celebrating? And what about a mysterious warning sent through an Israeli messaging app hours before the attacks? Today, we dive into one of the most controversial and chilling questions surrounding 9/11. Did Israel have prior knowledge of the attacks? Let's explore the evidence, the unanswered questions, and the stories that mainstream media won't discuss. The dancing Israelis. Let's start with the 5 Israelis arrested in New Jersey. A woman called the police after noticing men on top of a van, laughing, smiling, and posing for pictures with the burning Twin Towers in the background. According to her, they didn't look shocked or horrified. They looked happy. When the van was stopped, the men were arrested and turned over to the FBI. All 5 were Israeli citizens, and the investigation revealed that some had connections to Israeli intelligence. The men explained that they worked for a moving company called Urban Moving and were simply documenting the attacks. But this wasn't just any moving company. The FBI obtained a search warrant for Urban Moving's offices. What they found raised more questions than answers. 2 SUVs filled with boxes and computers, and after the arrests, the offices were abandoned. Urban Moving's sudden disappearance only added to the intrigue. Were these men truly innocent bystanders, or was there something more sinister at play? After 71 days in jail, the 5 men were deported. The FBI concluded that while some investigators suspected the men were part of an Israeli operation monitoring radical Islamic charities, there was no evidence they had advanced knowledge of the 9/11 attacks. But that conclusion hasn't silenced the skeptics. The Odigo messages. Now let's talk about Odigo, an Israeli-owned instant messaging service headquartered near the World Trade Center. 2 hours before the first plane hit, 2 Odigo employees received a chilling message warning that something big was going to happen. The warning didn't specify the nature of the attack, but the timing was eerily precise, almost to the minute. The company cooperated with Israeli and American authorities, including the FBI, to track down the source of the message. Odigo's servers were scoured, and information was passed on to Israeli officials. Yet, no public findings about the sender's identity were ever released. Why hasn't this lead been pursued further? Was the sender trying to prevent the attacks, or did they know something they weren't supposed to? Another perplexing detail lies in the reported number of Israeli casualties on September 11th. Initially, Israel's foreign ministry in Jerusalem reported that 4,000 Israelis were believed to be in the area of the World Trade Center and the Pentagon at the time of the attacks. However, only 4 Israeli citizens were confirmed to have died. While this discrepancy could be explained by errors in early reporting, it's fueled speculation that some Israelis may have been warned to stay away from the area. Is this purely coincidental, or is there more to the story? It's important to consider all sides of this debate. The FBI's investigation concluded there was no evidence that the dancing Israelis or Odigo's warning message were connected to the 9/11 plot. The men's claims about simply taking pictures and working for Urban Moving were deemed credible by investigators. Similarly, Odigo's warning, while suspicious, lacked enough specificity to draw a direct link to the attacks. At the same time, the circumstances surrounding these incidents are undeniably strange. The abandoned Urban Moving offices, the precise timing of the Odigo message, and the initial discrepancy in casualty reports all leave lingering questions. Why wasn't more media attention given to these stories? Were key details overlooked or suppressed in the chaos following September 11th? And most importantly, what can we learn from these mysteries? What do you think about the dancing Israelis, the Odigo warning, and the reported Israeli casualties? Do these events point to something deeper, or are they just coincidences blown out of proportion? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.